Hello, everyone. My name is Claretta Bellamy, and today's topic will be about domestic violence. October is National Domestic Violence Awareness Month. According to the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence, on average, nearly 20 people per minute are physically abused by an intimate partner in the United States. During 1 year, that equates to more than 10 million women and men. Today, I will be talking with Simona Badger, a licensed clinical social worker and certified domestic violence counselor. Badger provides support to individuals through her practice, S. Badger Empowerment and Consulting Services, located in Newark, New Jersey. She will be discussing facts and providing important tips to help others become more aware of intimate partner violence. Hello, Simona. Thank you so much for agreeing to sit with me here today.
Hi, Claretta. Thank you so much for this amazing opportunity to speak about a topic that I care so deeply about, domestic violence.
What is domestic violence?
It's really looking at assaultive behavior that occurs within intimate partner relationship, a relationship in which there's a sexual relationship, a romantic relationship, in which one partner uses control, intimidation, humiliation to really control the other partner.
And why do intimate partners abuse? What's their motive?
If we look really at the psyche of someone who's abusive, it may appear on the outside that they are all in control, but really abusers struggle with insecurities. They are having difficulty dealing with their lack of control over their situations. If they feel as though things aren't going right, they're not getting the jobs, they're not getting respect. What we're seeing is that there's sometimes that displacement, that wanting to get power within their relationship in order for them to feel purposeful. If individuals saw domestic violence growing up, you do see a reenactment of what they saw growing up in their relationships.
What are the different types of abuse?
The different forms are verbal, emotional, sexual, financial abuse, and also spiritual abuse. But we find that those other types of abuse doesn't really get the attention that it deserves, and no one really talks about the aftermath. Emotional abuse leaves scars. It's the reason why so many people go to therapy. Emotional abuse can cause individuals to experience post-traumatic stress disorder, just like physical abuse. It can create also depression and anxiety, just like physical abuse.
What are the common red flags or signs that someone might be dating a potential abusive partner?
I think possessiveness, that sense of ownership, is a big red flag. The other red flag is controlling behavior, controlling what the partner wears, where the partner goes. Other red flags also include moving too fast in the relationship. We find that they've just started getting to know each other, but there's this need for commitment. That's a red flag. You have to pay attention to how the abusive partner treats their family members. I'll hear things like, he does not like his sister at all. He disrespects his mother. He hasn't spoken to his mother in many years. Those are also a telltale sign. It is not okay for children to be abused, pets to be abused. And so that tells us that this person is extremely controlling, extremely aggressive, lacks empathy, lacks remorse. We also see this Jekyll and Hyde persona, right? So The abusive partner may be extremely genuine and loving and caring, and then we may see the total opposite at times.
How has the pandemic had an effect on the amount of cases of domestic violence?
A pandemic is the worst thing that could happen to individuals who are in abusive relationships. An abuser has very poor coping skills and is struggling with their own insecurity and lack of control over their environment. And so usually we see whenever there's a crisis, even a hurricane or whatever other natural disaster, domestic violence always rises because the abusive partner struggles. And when the abusive partner struggles, that amplifies their violence.
So some people may be watching this video and realize that they are in a abusive relationship. What would you suggest that their next steps be?
Make a plan. Text messages, emails, whatever you can gather, keep that in a safe space. I would also call the domestic violence hotline. They are trained, they handle these calls every day, it's 24/7. There's also an app, Are You Safe? You know, that app allows someone who's not quite sure if they're in a domestic violence relationship to, or not sure what to do. It may give them ideas about creating a safety plan.
Do you think abusers can change?
Change is ongoing and it's lifelong for an abuser. It's rare, it's not very common. There has to be remorse. There has to be a need to change, right? They have to see the impact that it's really having on the person that they're abusing. The abusive partner would have to admit that they abused. There also would have to be a consistent change behavior. There has to be remorse, there has to be empathy. So those are some of the things. However, we're finding that because of the entitlement, because society doesn't really treat domestic violence cases as serious as they should, we're finding that a lot of abusive partners aren't really taking accountability for their actions.
So what are the steps that society can take in order to combat domestic violence?
There just needs to be lifelong, long-term treatments, long-term education about what is domestic violence, and also the therapy component. A lot of abusers have other unaddressed issues, and there needs to be a space for them to speak about those issues. The other important thing is, I think it's important to look at the statistics. Black women are 2.5 more times more likely to be killed by their abuser than a white woman. There are deep-rooted structural oppression that makes it difficult for Black women and women of color to leave abusive relationships. People of all races, all socioeconomic status, all religion, all sexual orientations can also fall victim to being a victim of domestic violence. Stand firm with your requirements and your standards because it could save you from an abusive relationship.
Well, thank you so much, Simona, for taking the time to sit with me and talk about this very important topic. And I hope you stay safe.
Thank you for this amazing opportunity. I really do hope that the information I shared today will help someone who's in an abusive relationship